We're back. We got caught in a bind a little earlier this week with a bird that happened to be a little closer than I thought he was going to be. Listening from the road, so couldn't get on the other side of him. Didn't have time to make a big loop. Had some plans had to go get to at noon, and we're not really that close to where I had to be. So slipped out of there. Kept fingers crossed no one's hauling a truck on this road, parked right next to where that turkey was roosted, and slipped on in the day or 2 days after. A couple days removed from that situation. Very unlikely that turkey is still there. Whether he's alive or not, I don't know. That's kind of up to whoever probably slipped in after me. But it's a bluebird morning. I mean, as good as you can get. I think finally the pressure's kind of settled in, got right. Should hear gobble if there's one in there. So that'll be the telltale sign. If we hear one, we'll head after him. If not, I don't know that he's in there, because if everything was dependent on some of these parameters that I tend to look at as far as gobbling goes, this is a good one. So we'll see. It's about 5:40 now, so I ain't got much time to spare. I don't want to get caught in that same situation. Traffic's already a little heavier than it was that day. But tomorrow's the weekend, and I know it will not be the same ball game tomorrow. So we're going to play it today. I'm not sure how much of that y'all got to see, but hopefully y'all are spared from having to watch too much of it. Came in here on this ridge top, above the bottom where I saw a turkey a couple days ago, which gobbled on that day, which was a much less likely day for them to gobble than today is. Got in here, slipped in here about 40 minutes for gobbling time. Early enough in my book. Kept myself, kept still. Hooted a couple times to nothing. Heard no gobbles. Decided to do a random fly down, thinking I might get one to sound off. And he didn't sound off. Did a fly down a couple tree yelps. Clucked some birds here and there. And thought to myself, you might want to sit down just in case. And no sooner I thought that, I looked up and see two silver shoulders on a black body running right at me from the left. And coming fast, and there wasn't nothing but oxygen and burnt pine bark between me and him. And I'm standing there with my gun on my shoulder. It's like calling my hand. Couldn't tell what they were, or how big, or anything like that, but they weren't but 60 yards when I saw them. Kind of shot me, and they ran. As soon as I got the first pine tree between me and them, I just hit the deck, and I think they saw me. They froze. I saw them again, several other times, walking from left to right, but never closer. but up in here it's hard to tell. There's just very few gaps. There's multiple gaps, but there's very few big gaps where you can see, a full body silhouette. I'm gonna hope they were jakes, but I doubt they were. They were very, very black and they didn't look too small. They were definitely male turkeys, though. They never butted or anything, but I was in such a deck on mine. If I'd have been sitting here, we'd find out, but unfortunately I wasn't. That's something I vowed to do better of this year, was be disciplined in the stuff that I already know. I know I should be ready if I'm going to call, because that can very well happen. It just hasn't happened in a while. And that was kind of my plan, was to get up here and try to call one out of that bottom, and they came running out of the bottom. They just didn't gobble. I was calling for a gobble, not for a turkey, which is not what you're supposed to do. If I wind up kind of letting him flop there for a second, not wanting to bump the other ones. Chase or see if somebody, Brett, come in here and get one. Of course, winds up being one of the prettier ones I've probably ever killed. One. You know I'm no videographer, but even this morning I wasn't really planning on videoing much. Kind of wanted to stint there to hunt some public ground that I'd hunted before and hadn't killed one on yet. And after thinking about it, and only other two I killed in Mississippi. The only other ones I'd killed in Mississippi. Were kind of away from home, so didn't get to go show the daughters and stuff, and that's part of it. That's parts I look forward to. Getting to show them and letting them see it. With traveling coming up and everything, and I don't know if I'm gonna have many more chances to bring home one. But want to come out here and kind of focus on just hunting by myself. I hadn't done that this year either, really hunting by myself. And I wanted to get out here and kind of, there's something about hunting by yourself that you don't get, and I've learned that because I hadn't always hunted with other folks, but I have as of lately. And my heart rate don't quite get as up. It's not as personal, it's not as connected, I guess you'd say. It's not a, it's hard to explain. It's more of a nervousness. No backup, no extra eyes, no, you know. You gotta believe everything you think and everything you feel and everything you hear and see and everything. Especially on that one, it was 1 on 3 or 4 maybe. Yeah, I ain't gonna shed no tear over them. I established this relationship about 18 minutes ago, so all I needed to do was make sure they had a long beard. But I walked in probably not 150 yards that way. Came down this old bush road. Somebody had left a pile of feathers there that are just oddly intact, which means he had plucked them with his hand. Not from skinning a turkey. I know what those feathers look like too, but that did give me a little bit of a tip of which road to take, because I feel like those were possibly planted there. You know what I mean? So something might be down this road that he don't want other folks coming in and hearing. And first call in and found out why. There's a group of 4 2-year-olds gobbling out of daggum whatever you threw at them. But if he's coming back on Saturday, there's at least 3 more. Or at least 2 more. Heck, there might have been 5 the way these 2-year-olds have been. I've seen a lot of 2-year-olds and jakes this year, so it's been a healthy, pleasant sight. But I know y'all didn't see none of this. I only have to go back and watch the footage on this one. But I'm over here on this road back here, which I tend to stay off of roads, but this one, I mean, I'm walking down to get to the creek, then I'm gonna get on, then start walking and calling, and I really just get right here. And so I'm clucking and purring along the way, but I don't like doing that too close to the entrance, really, if I can help it. Got down here and hit a soft yelp on the select call, and They answered. I can tell it's multiple. Answered right down in here. Somewhere along these lines right up in here. Hopped over this murky stuff. Found a good tree with some cover. I'm not used to that in the past 4 or 5 hunts. Both places I've hunted are burnt pines or just abnormally pretty turkey woods. This is wide open this time of year. This is what turkey was supposed to look like in April. Feels right, but I mean, I don't know. They might have been 200 yards. I don't even know if they were that, though, honestly. And I hit them with silence after 3 gobbles, and very, very close to checking their location because I knew they had to have been moving. They wouldn't answer that fast. They weren't at least interested. I assumed they were by themselves. I assumed there was going to be that many of them. My plan was to come down here, and I was going to sit on the other side of the road, but I thought I'm probably not the first person to do that, and they were going to, hang up about 60 yards out of here, being about 75, 80 past the road or wherever I'd be sitting. So I do decide to hop across this road. Luckily, I have a tree big enough to cover my shoulders and don't have a road behind me. Thinking they're still going to come down in here. They hook a left, and I found that out by drumming. I look over and I hear the drumming for the first time. 45 yards maybe. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see. Yeah, I'm right in actually. This little lit up area out here. That's where they walked through. That's where he was drumming. Of course, my gun was faced this way. And they got behind that big tree right here. Or he did, at least. I could tell, one of them was behind it and one of them had moved on. And then I see another one behind it and stuff. And I still ain't seen one strutting really. So I know there's a couple of them. And I don't know how many have passed before I heard that drumming. So I'll wait for them to get behind that. They do. They keep moving. The other ones, the sporting ones, are moving funky. They're a little skeptic. He's not. He's in the back. So they come out, and I kind of did like I did a couple weeks ago with Logan. If I know there is more than one, I kind of use the first one to let me know where I need to be ready for. Because when it happens that quick, and you're supposed to always be ready. I got bit this morning for not being ready, standing up with a gun on my shoulder, and 2 turkeys running in at me without gobbling. Did not kill them. They saw me, but let them other ones pass on by this road. You can't see that. I don't know if you can see it, but let them pass through and waited for that strutter. And he kind of came down that embankment, kind of fast, catching himself, and they was cut and stop and shoot. But that was fun. There was a long enough time in there without no gobblers or calling that got my heart rate up pretty good there. Made me wonder, second guess myself, test my discipline on how long you're gonna be silent. And I did try to do a couple little soft yelps right there to turn them, but they didn't. I guess they were gonna come behind me. I don't know. But fortunately, we will not find out what they were going to do. Only what they did. Sometimes you zig when you should have zagged, and sometimes you sit in the right tree, and sometimes you get busted off the limb and drive down the road till you see something pretty and say, I think I'm gonna walk in there. And you do, and there's turkeys in there, and you shoot one. It ain't easy, but I'd rather 2-year-olds than some of the other ones most days. But this daggum camera might not be doing him justice. And of course I let him sit there and flop because I don't want to booger these other ones because they're pretty hard to come by around here. But when you find them, you want to keep them uneducated as possible, especially for brothers and friends and stuff. And Didn't know he had you know, this beautiful tint to his wings and stuff. And his tail van's real light. He's pretty. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, he's real pretty. I would have let him, bang up like that. I know, but it'll buff out. And now time to get the truck ready to hit the road. We're gonna hit the road in a week or so. I'm missing that. I ain't gonna lie. Never thought I'd say that. Missing sleeping in my truck bed and eating peanut butter and granola bars and hot Kroger water for 3 meals a day. But I do. I'm gonna stay here a few more minutes and gonna pick a better day. I mean, not hot, not cold. They get into some mosquitoes there, but it's the price I'm willing to pay. Then I gotta get this back to show the daughters so they can have some cool turkey feathers to play around with and all that good stuff. So that's it. Mississippi has been plenty. Enough. Yeah. Be a while before I'm out here again. I'm gonna soak this in.